Resumes, networking, and interviewing all lead to the final goal of an internship or job offer. Getting the offer is a much anticipated and exciting event, yet many students face unanticipated stress at this point in the process. Offer deadlines may not line up optimally, and students often feel pressured to make important decisions quickly and without the information needed to compare their full set of options. This is also the stage in the process where missteps are common and reputations are at stake. This video will cover basic etiquette of the offer process, as well as provide tips to help you effectively navigate your offer. Offers are generally extended verbally by a recruiter, with formal details of the offer terms provided in writing after the conversation, most typically as a follow-up email. When you receive an offer, be gracious and confirm the time frame that you have to evaluate the offer. It is not customary or expected to provide a response on the spot. 1 week is a typical time frame for a candidate to consider an offer, although timeframes vary. Business Career Services maintains offer policies for public accounting, and we provide basic guidelines to all of our recruiting partners on suggested decision-making timeframes. These guidelines are intended to advocate for our students and can be found on our website. This is a stage in the recruiting process when it might be especially important to work directly with a career advisor for guidance. We can provide assistance to the specifics of your situation. The ideal scenario is for the timing to line up in a way that allows you to make an informed comparison of your options, although this is often not the case. It is ethical and appropriate for you to ask for an extension of the offer deadline if needed, although the employer is not obligated to accommodate your request. If you are actively involved in the interview process with other preferred organizations, we encourage you to notify your recruiting contact regarding your offer, as they may be able to move along their selection process more efficiently. Here are 2 examples of ways to appropriately ask for an offer extension. I am excited about the opportunity to work for your organization. This is a major decision. Therefore, I would like to ask for a bit more time to consider the offer. I have previously scheduled an interview, and it is important for me to honor that commitment. In order to make an informed decision, I am requesting an extension on the offer deadline. Keep in mind that if the employer is unable to honor your request, you need to be prepared to make a decision. You may have the good fortune of selecting between multiple offers. Make sure to be honest and upfront with recruiting contacts during your decision-making process. It's not uncommon or inappropriate for a recruiter to ask for details about a competing offer, although it's optional for you to disclose specifics. They may simply be wanting to make sure that they can work with your timeline as much as possible. Don't drag the process out more than necessary. Once you've made your decision, be timely, professional, and gracious in your communication. Treating everyone with respect and maintaining positive relationships will serve you well in your long-term success. There are several important things you must avoid in the offer process. Your own reputation is at stake, but your actions can also have an impact on the recruiting relationships that the business school has worked hard to establish. It is not acceptable to accept a job offer while continuing your search for other options. In fact, doing so will result in loss of an on-campus recruiting privileges. Once you accept an offer, it's important to immediately but graciously withdraw your candidacy from other organizations for which you are an active candidate. Once you've accepted an offer, do not renege. Doing so will surely burn bridges. It's also unprofessional to not respond back to an employer regarding an offer within the agreed upon timeframe. Business Career Services can provide appropriate examples for both accepting and declining job offers. Many students wonder if they should negotiate salary. Most employers will extend a competitive salary that is on par with their industry, and it's important that they extend a consistent salary to all of their incoming college hires. As such, there is often little room for negotiation when it comes to salary, but there are times when a negotiation conversation may be appropriate. If you're not sure if your offer is competitive, consult the employment statistics maintained by Business Career Services, which can be found on our website. Having a lot of bills to pay, having a friend who received a better offer from another company, or just plain wanting more money are not reasons to negotiate for a higher salary. If you believe that the offer is not competitive or have a legitimate reason to negotiate, tread lightly and ask questions such as, is there flexibility in terms of salary? And can you tell me how you arrived at this number? It's important to consider total compensation, not just the base salary. Total compensation includes insurance benefits, retirement plans, stock options, education reimbursement, and perks such as a company car, a phone plan, or employee discount programs. There may also be aspects beyond salary, such as the vacation package or flexible work arrangements that you may wish to discuss in the negotiation process. Congrats on your current and future offers. Remember that Business Career Services is happy to provide support, and once you accept the offer, don't forget to celebrate.